Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson is having some regrets. With COVID-19 cases surging in his state, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson wishes that he could take back the ban on local mask mandates that he had signed into law. Take a look.
I signed it for those reasons, that our cases were at a low point. Everything has changed now. And yes, in hindsight, I wish that had not become law. But it is the law, and the only chance we have is either to amend it or for the courts to say that it has an unconstitutional foundation.
All right, so let's just say, oops. So you signed a ban on mask mandates in your entire state. You said, you can't do a mask mandate. And then, oh, shocker, here comes coronavirus saying, oh, here we go. Fresh hunting ground, fresh meat. And that's exactly what happened. So you messed up, and now your state is a disaster area. Great job. Well, how bad is it? It can't really be that bad, right? Well, according to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, the state has a 7-day rolling case average of 1,973, the highest numbers since January, with 45.8% of adults over 18 fully vaccinated, according to the New York Times. Arkansas has the third lowest vaccination rate in the country, ahead of only Mississippi and Alabama among all states. Why is it? Why is it that those three always seem to have the worst metrics in this country? Alabama, Mississippi, and, well, I guess Arkansas is not normally as bad. But then, you know, you've got like Texas and you got Florida. Disaster. Just disaster. And so, no, and Alabama, by the way, they don't have, in areas of the country, of the state, they literally don't have sanitation or clean water. It's 2021. And they're living like a third world country. Jesus. All right, but anyway. So now, the response to this online was predictably hilarious, with people weighing in. One person, Nerdicity, says, please somebody save us from these short-sighted idiots. Pat Oswalt says, let's go easy on old Hutchinson. There's no way he could have known that banning the thing that protects you from the pandemic would be a bad idea during the pandemic. Bob Cheska points out, hey, maybe you shouldn't have followed the whimsy of con men, idiots, and suckers, Governor. Yeah, I know, right? Colorado Audrey says, Asa Hutchinson banned mask mandates, made it a law. Now he has to undo it so he can mandate masks. This is how stupid these people are. Yeah, it's total reactionary politics. And once again, these Republican governors, Republican officials, are all doing these reactionary things because their base is so unbelievably, like, they froth at the mouth at the attempt at the idea of having to wear a mask or to get a vaccine. You know why? It's because, well, the libs are doing it. If the libs are doing it, then I don't want to do it. About 30% of all Republicans refuse to get a mask. Refuse to get a vaccine. That's insane. Now, interestingly enough, and I haven't talked about this on the show very much, but vaccine mandates. Now we're having the discussion about vaccine mandates. Whereas if you start making vaccines mandatory for doing things like flying or going to certain restaurants, things like that, well, then suddenly Republicans are like, okay, fine, we'll get our vaccine. Interesting how mandates tend to work. Weird. More. Charles Johnson says, what an asshole. Totally predictable, but this creep wanted to earn points with the MAGA cult. Now people will die because of selfish pandering. That's sad but true. Craig Calcetera says, loved the party which governs most of the country thinks that its job is just to fucking win the news cycle game. That's unfortunate. That is super unfortunate. Now, as far as Arkansas, again, this is not going to get any better with the Delta variant, which is the dominant strain. But don't worry, Not going to be dominant for long, because here comes the Lambda. Yes, the Lambda. Like the Delta variant, Lambda is highly infectious and thought to be more resistant to vaccines than the original version of the virus. There is, though much remains unknown about the strain, there have been some alarming characteristics detected by researchers. At the moment, Lambda variant has been mainly spreading through South America, after first being identified in Peru in August of 2020. But cases have been seen in Texas and South Carolina. Fewer than 700 cases of Lambda variant have been sequenced in the U.S. out of more than 34 million coronavirus reported cases, according to one estimate. However, the U.S. has only sequenced a small amount of its cases, so the actual number of cases associated with the strain may be much higher. Oh, interesting. Interesting. The World Health Organization says the Lambda has the potential for increased transmissibility and may have increased resistance to neutralizing antibodies, both characteristics associated with the Delta variant. So now, even still, studies show that vaccines protect against all major coronavirus strains, including Delta, and researchers believe this to be the case with Lambda. As for now, there hasn't been sufficient data regarding exactly how effective current vaccines are against preventing infection from Lambda. So that is pretty concerning. Overall, though, again, I would strongly suggest you get the vaccine. Literally, this is the best case for it. The even more transmissible variants, meaning you're much more likely to get it now. Even with a vaccine, you'll have a breakthrough. You could have breakthrough cases. Lindsey Graham's a good example. However, those breakthrough cases are not as severe when you have a vaccine, meaning you're not going to die, you're not going to go to the hospital, and you're not going to suffer those long-term effects that a lot of people have. Best case to get your vaccine. And so, look, this isn't, if you don't, it's not just going to be a little bit of regret, understand. It's going to be a lot of regret. I've done a ton of stories so far about people who didn't get the vaccine and then got incredibly ill or have lost family members. And guess what? They're feeling a lot of regret. So you can do something about that. Protect yourself, vaccinate, mask up, stay safe, and save lives. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.